Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin seems to be following this pathway to the downside in the third wave. And we talked about that in the last video, and it's actually now made a new low. So following currently the expectations of this white wave count. Okay, so let's talk about the count. I can completely remove the yellow count actually from the chart. This was the alternative in which the wave 4 already bottomed. I mean, yeah, I can completely take that out. So we're following that white scenario now. The only other scenario I've got would be to say that this is actually an ABC and not a WXY, and then we're finishing here instead of after one more low. Okay, so let's talk about the two structures. In the white count, in the short term, they are the same. In the white count, we have this WXY structure, and in the Y wave, we have an A, B, C. And the C wave could sort of land around 57,500, maybe even a little bit lower. But it depends on the microstructure. The microstructure needs to be filled in ideally. And the C wave needs to be a 5-wave move. We already have the wave 1 completed, the wave 2, and we could now be working on the third wave. In the previous video earlier today, I made you aware that today we need to be watching for this third wave to possibly start. And that as long as we stay below the B wave top, which was formed on Monday at around 66,880, that we can be watching for that third wave to the downside, because that move or a move above that level would have invalidated this structure. So this is currently the idea that this is a third of a third wave to the downside now. Yeah. So if we say, okay, we completed wave 1, the wave 2 was a flat structure. This is now the third wave down. And in the third wave, we're obviously looking for 5 waves. Looks like we had a small one too, not really a significant rebound. And then this could be the third of a third wave. And with the information we have now, as long as today's high stays intact and it's not broken, this is now the count. And we can calculate a target for the third. And it would typically, the first ideal target is around 58.5K. And then sort of just below that is 57.6. So in that region, yeah, 58.5 to 57.6, which is also around the 1.236 extension. So just smaller degree fib levels, larger degree fib levels together point to that range. And looking at the micro pattern, it looks as if this is the third of a third wave, because this is typically the strongest wave. Yeah, and it happened just again when the stock market opened. So obviously there's some additional volatility that typically comes in around this time. Now I have to say, if this is a WXY pattern and then here the white ABC, we should still see the third wave filled in, then another lower high and another lower low. Okay, remember that the ideal target for a fourth wave is typically the 38.2 retracement, in this case 55.4K. However, we don't need to come down that low. There is also this other count, the ABC structure, and in this count, I only mentioned it verbally in the last video, but now that we took out one from the chart, we can bring another one on. This is this count. So that the C wave is basically unfolding as an ending diagonal. And in this fifth wave, then this would be an ABC structure, and we're coming down, and this would be the last low. And we might not get this 4-5. The only way to deal with this uncertainty is to manage it through tactics. Obviously, what we then might observe is this trend line here. Like this, yeah. So if that trend line is then broken to the upside, that might be the earliest indication that a low has actually formed. And at the moment, the trend is clearly down, especially against the last key level. I mean, the key level against which you can focus on lower is this last high at 63,040. It's obviously just a micro high here. And if that breaks, then it is today's high, which was formed at 64,480. So at the moment, nothing unusual. Actually, it's unfolding as suggested by the white count or the yellow count. They both move together until this low is in, then they will diverge from each other, whereas the white count will form another lower high and another lower low and needs to stay below wave 2 high. The yellow count could form a low in this region around, what did I say, 58k, 58.5, 57.5. So in this region down there. We'll see. The next support, by the way, is 60,140, where we could get a bit of a bounce. I would say as soon as that trend line breaks, that might be an indication that we're turning around. Obviously, I'm loading that video up now when the price is already in free fall. So yeah, well, at least I try to give you accurate, up-to-date info. But once I'm uploading, see, now it's going quickly. So maybe I'll extend that video a little bit. But no, there's not much more to say, really. We now need to see how the market reacts to these levels. They are all relevant here in this support area, yeah? Okay, hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.